Motivator. Yes, JayR, Dr. McIntyre. And I brought back one of my best friends, Calvin Reynoso. He had a lot more to say. I don't know if you guys tuned in to his last podcast. Well, I am telling him today on air. I will bring him back every season so the world can hear his powerful voice and what he's contributing and giving back to the society. What's up, Calvin Reynoso? How you been, man? What's going down?
Yo, what's going on, homie? I'm good. 10 toes down. Uh, just grateful to be here.
Man, I see you got a lot of stuff going on, man. I see that Friday I was with you and you brought me out to your correctional facility to pour into them inmates, to them prisoners, to them young men in there. I appreciate you bringing me out, man. How do you feel about that?
Yo, honestly, it's never been done. That place has been open for like 30 years. Never has there been a motivational speaker to come in and speak, let alone a black African American who's a combat veteran, who's also, you know, a doctor, and comes from the streets, and yeah, it was led by, I was the tip of the spear to get you in, and just grateful that the stars aligned, and that the upper echelon were able to see the vision, and I still don't think they see the full picture the way we do, but it was monumental. It was history. History was made.
History was definitely made, and don't take it lightly, man. Your reputation precedes you, and I appreciate you for putting your name, your neck on the line for who I am to bring your brother and someone that we came up through the ranks together in the military. If everybody ain't heard our story, tune in on Apple and Spotify.
Yeah,
January 29th is going viral
no, you don't want
on
to miss that one.
yeah, you don't want to miss that. But this is season three, and I wanted to bring you back on so people can see, what I'm saying, continue to hear who you are, what you're doing, and the powerful voice that you have. First of all, man, I'm gonna give the floor to you so you can open up. You told me you had a prayer,
Oh
so I'm
yeah,
gonna give it to you. You tell everybody who you are again, what you're doing, and what you're going to do in the future.
yeah. First of all, I just want to just thank everyone for tuning in. Name's Calvin Reynoso. I'm a correction officer of 16 years. I'm a combat veteran. Two deployments. Ramadi '03 and then '06, '07, Northern Iraq, Mosul, 15 months combat leader. Currently, I'm attending MIU Maharishi University. It's conscious based education, and my major is consciousness and human potential. So I'm currently working on that. I'll be getting my bachelor's this year. Yeah, thank you. And then I'm gonna jump right into my master's, and then my doctorate. Basically, what I do is it's conscious based education. So I'm big on like transcendental meditation, face plunges, a lot of Ayurvedic holistic healing, plant based medicine. I'm big on meditation. Recently, last month, did 23 hours of meditation in November, and then the month prior, it was like 26 hours. But non-negotiable. You've seen it here when you came to visit. Non-negotiable. I twice a day, even at work, I'll lock myself in a closet. I'll meditate. Um, but yeah, just trying to be a bright light in an often dim world. So you gotta unmute yourself while you're muted. Yeah.
You're definitely a bright light in a
Humble.
in a muted world, and I
Mm.
say that a bunch of bright lights can get together and make a chandelier. You are definitely making that change. You're definitely leading that charge. You definitely took that 11 Bravo mentality, that infantry, and you holding the front line, holding the front line of energy, holding the front line of holistic, of consciousness. You holding the front line of who you are as a father, as a husband, and we appreciate you, man.
Thank
And
you.
let's talk about the education you get. Can you explain that to the world?
Yeah, so MIU, it's Maharishi University, and Maharishi Yogi was basically a yogi that he started transcendental meditation. It's a form of meditation. It's 20 minutes a day, twice a day, and it's a mantra you repeat. And basically, they when you take the course, it was a requirement in order for me to get into the school. They give you a mantra. I can't say the mantra because you got to go through the course, but it's a word that has no meaning. And you repeat that word, and it allows you to tap into like transcendental consciousness, Christ consciousness, cosmic consciousness, all these different levels of awareness. And really, what it does, it allows you to get back to the self and slow your mind down. Because we live in a lot of people are on this hamster wheel, just running same old loops. And what transcendental does, it allows you to look inward because the world tells you, yo, Dr. JR, you need to go find yourself. But no, it's not about finding yourself. It's about remembering who you were before the world got to you. And that's what transcendental meditation does. It allows you to look inward and you sit in your silence. And like I said, the scariest shit I ever did was face my own shadows. I was scared than any combat mission.
I love that. I love the fact that you talk about that, man. Can you talk about, what I'm saying, the work that you're doing in the jail right now?
Yeah, so I work right now in basically the intake unit, AP, and it's where a lot of the inmates will come off the streets, and then we got to process them, give them their tans and showers, and then from there they go to the actual intake unit, and then from there, based on their charges, etc., they go to different spots of the jail. But right now, with my wife and I, I drop jewels every day. So like you came in to speak, and what you did, I literally do every day, like throughout the jail. I speak life to inmates, and that's the reason why is because I know like you said it before. There's a lot of gems in there, man. A lot of diamonds that have been forgotten, and I just try to lead by example and just if I feel called to, I'll speak, some truth about like where you are doesn't need to be here forever, and this is an opportunity for you to improve and grow. Um, and basically, like with my wife and I right now, she works there too. She's LCSW, currently working on her doctorate. So we're coming up with like a blueprint of like inner child healing, meditation, a lot of like holistic things that I do, tapping, like things that can help regulate the nervous system. Because a lot of these guys that 0 to 5 early child development, like think about our lives, 0 to 5 years old, it was chaos. So like if you have unprocessed trauma, it can manifest into addiction, depression, anxiety, let alone epigenetics and generational trauma. So, but yeah, so we're basically in the process of starting this program. I mean, you coming in was huge, and you're gonna hopefully we can sign this deal and get you locked in. It's in the works right now. Talking to a couple of my lieutenants from the gang unit and stuff of getting you in to. We can come up with like a pilot program that actually speaks life into the population because I mean the mission statement for corrections is to reintegrate them back into society. But I'm gonna be honest, like the system's broken. It's not giving them the tools that they need. And I had a person tell me the other day, addiction services lady, oh well, they have to want to do the work. And I'm like, dude, I lost my brother to addiction 6 years ago, addiction PTSD, and I'm like, it's such a like micro way of thinking. I'm thinking macro. Like nobody wakes up and wants to be an addict or addicted. It's unprocessed trauma that literally is just manifesting into other things of anxiety, depression, and all that. So it's like I was kind of annoyed because I'm like, you're running the head of addiction services, and your best response is they got to want to do the work. I'm like, what about ancestral trauma? What about epigenetics? Like literally, like trauma can be passed on through your sperm, literally. And then as a father, if you're not doing the work like me, I'm healing not just for myself but for my lineage. Because when I heal, you heal 7 generations forward and back. So I just thought it was like such a black and white, like, oh yeah, these they're not gonna do the work. Like nobody wakes up and wants to be an addict. No one wakes up and wants to be depressed. Like there's a lot of grown adults that are just hurting children, and that's why that early childhood development and healing that inner child, all that helps you heal, and that's all the things that I do. Everything I put out, like I believe I'm the realest dude out because like literally everything I say I do. Like I don't everything I put out I live like Nipsey said, authentic, man. I'm just prolific. I know I'm gifted. I'm chosen.
That's why we're here, and that's why I want to continue to have you on my show and spotlight you and show you that a lot of people are hashtagging mental health, and
Yeah.
it's looking good for men and all these things because people are making money off of it. But are you doing the work? Are you going out there hugging on trees, like we say? Are you doing the bufo, the ayahuasca?
Oh,
Are
yeah.
you meditating? Are you praying? Are you being intentional? Are you affirming? You know what I'm saying? And before I keep going, I want to hear that. I want to hear that prayer that you
Yeah,
had for this episode. Can you
yeah,
say?
yeah. And everything I do, like every morning, I post a prayer. But now I'm switching over to like keeping the prayers for like just my own personal healing. But Mondays I'll do a prayer, and then Friday I'll do a prayer online just to kind of open the week and seal it. But everything I do is intentional. Every word I speak carries purpose. So I just wrote this prayer real quick. I'll just read it to just seal the vibe here. It says, Source, God, creator of all, guide this conversation with clarity, truth, and courage. May every word spoken be intentional and every silence be meaningful. May the right ears hear the message at the exact moment they are ready. May healing travel further than we can see and land exactly where it is needed. We speak from presence, not ego. We speak from service, not performance. We trust that nothing shared is wasted and nothing real is ever lost. As within, so without, as above, so below, and so it is.
I love that, and I love the fact that you as authentic as they come.
Yeah,
You
facts.
practice exactly who you are and what you preach. And I would be impelled not to say that I'm proud of you in the journey. People don't see last year. They don't see 2 years ago. They
Oh
don't see
man.
we're gonna talk about it. They don't see the noose around your neck.
Oh my
They
God.
don't see
Story.
the multiple suicide ideations. They don't see you taking
Yeah.
a knee, fanning out, pulling security on your life and saying, you know what, I need to take a pause a year out from the correctional facility so I can get myself right. Because you can't love anybody else if you don't love yourself. And that was impossible for you to do because we were taught as men, as combat soldiers, just to keep pushing on. But you was the very first person to take that knee and say, hey, something is wrong. Killer Cal is, I'm not right in my head. You know what I'm saying? And I appreciate you talking about that and going through all them things and becoming the man you are today. People see the Hood Motivator today, but they don't know.
They ain't been in the trenches with
They
you,
ain't
bro.
been in the trenches with us. They ain't been
Uh,
there. They ain't done the work. Um,
they wasn't with us shooting in the gym.
it wasn't, man.
Yeah.
Listen, this is a late night conversation because I couldn't let the night go by without saying, you know what? Let me continue to welcome Cal on season 3, and now I could do as many as I need to do so the world can hear me and understand what we've been doing and just know that hey, this is not a gimmick. This is our life. You know what I'm saying? I bet our team against yours, we're gonna win. You
Yeah,
know
we
what I'm
gonna
saying?
win every time. Yeah,
Yeah, man.
yeah. You gotta have that belief, and I think that's like the world will try to tell you like to dim your shine, not believe in yourself, and when you get somebody who's authentically themselves, that's your superpower. Like Jay Z says, he said, I try to make these dudes want to be kings. All they want to be was soldiers. You know what I mean? Like I'm a king. I'm a young king. I'm instilling that in my son, whose name is Kingston. Like, but it's okay to. So I'm big on like it's okay to say you're great, right? But like let your actions prove your greatness. Like I've been channeling that 23 95 Bulls energy, like that frequency of like greatness, and I know I'm great. It's not cocky. It's I do the work. Like I'm up at 3:53 every morning. I do my meditation. I do my sage. I cleanse my house. I speak my affirmations. I do my face plunges. Then from there, I go outside. I grind myself barefoot. Then I go to the gym. Then I come back, say bye to my wife, get her lunch ready, and then I drop my kid off at school. Then I go to work. Then I come home. Then I meditate. Like, dude, I'm like boom, boom, boom. Like, I guess you're done. But I'm like, I'm great. I'm just waiting for. I'm big on the quantum field. So basically, the quantum is like everything you want to be. Literally, everything you want to be is you're already that in the quantum field. So if this is quantum field, this is your goals, this is where you are now. You're just waiting for space and time to catch up. So, like in my mind, we're the most influential people of this generation. Like that's gonna happen. Yeah.
Love it, man. And that's exactly who we are and what we're doing. You know what I'm saying? And being able to put that out here and be able to say, you know what, this is what it is. This is the motivators table. This is where the motivators come and get motivated. Who motivates us, right? Who puts us in position to win? You do it like right now. It's late at night. You're tired. You got to wake up in the morning. People don't see your routine. They don't see you get up at 3 in the morning. They don't see you pray. They don't see you meditate. They don't see you go through everything you go through. They don't see you being a father. They don't see you in school as an active parent, as an active student. We are all that. We're both in school right now. I
Yeah,
graduated at the end
I
of this
was
year.
doing homework today. 2 hours of it.
Exactly, man. And it's hard because it's like, you just want to. Sometimes you want to tap out. You do.
Yeah, yeah, and I've said this, and I can say this. I'm a real like, man. This is by no means literally, like, not in the literal sense. Sometimes, like, my soul's tired, man. I'm tired. Like, and every day I think about like giving up. I'm like, I just like Nipsey says. There's one of my favorite quotes, and he's speaking at like a studio, and he said every time you feel like giving up, it's you realize if you're moving towards that goal of greatness, it's supposed to stretch you. It's supposed to be a burden. It's supposed to test you to your core. And when I feel like I can't go anymore, like I not even can't. I don't even use that word. When I feel like I'm struggling, I just look like this. I see my brother back there, and I just think of I can go one more rep. I can go one more step. Like every day is just like another day to honor. A lot of veterans are like, oh, I did this and that, and we talk about that. That's great, but like, what are we doing now? And like all these veterans, and I get it because I've been on multiple hospital stays. One to hang, I had a noose around my neck about 2 years ago, like combat deployments, 45 in my head. Like, dude, I was going through it, but now I look at this like this pain's been a valuable teacher, man. You learn more through pain and suffering than you do wins.
Right.
And my brother's passing sparked my awakening, and now I'm at the point of my healing where I'm grateful for the pain. I thank God source, like I thank you for the pain, because through the pain I found my purpose.
Right.
And when you're leading with your purpose, bro, no weapon formed against you shall prosper.
Yeah.
Nobody can stop you when you're chosen. Like we're not supposed to be here. We are supposed to be here because God had a plan, but we weren't supposed to make it out. I died years ago, bro. I died at 19 in Iraq.
Man, mentally and physically. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Oh,
We've been through so much, even going through it after the military, and just leaning on each other.
oh my
And
God. Yeah.
now that we're healers and we align in our synergy, and it's way more. I feel like the attacks they come more frequently because people know that we are ascending,
Yes.
and we're moving past all the trials
Separators.
and tribulations, all the haters, everything.
Yeah.
We are the status quo. This is what it is. We just went inside the Corrigan Correctional Facility, and you allowed me to just pour into the young men in there, man. It was so amazing, man.
Yeah.
Can,
That
can
was
you tell me from your experience from the crowd, how did you feel and what did you see?
I mean, so just the backstory of this. So like probably a couple months prior, like so basically the warden called me, because I sent up your information up the chain of command. He calls me on the phone, and he's like, "Oh, Reynoso, give me a floor. Basically, give me a call, Officer Reynoso, whatever." So I call him. I'm like, "Hey, how you doing, sir?" And he goes, "I'm on the phone," and he goes, "Oh, the Hood Motivator, huh?" And I'm like, "Ah, here we go. He's probably gonna say like it's not gonna happen." He's like, "Yo, I fucking love it." He's like, "Let's lock it in." So we went to the gang units. There's two units, and one unit was really receptive. They were like, "Oh, this is great, it's amazing." The other unit was funny because one of the tough guys in there was like, we met with all the head gang guys, and one guy was like, "Yo, I don't give a damn about the Hood Motivator. I put the gang over my mother. This is my religion." And then we're like, "All right, cool. Like, just don't come then. That's cool. Like, if you want it, take it. Like, there's knowledge to be had." And so I was what I was doing prior to you coming. I was going to the units, planting seeds everywhere, dropping jewels, boom, 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 boom. Yeah, I'm the hope dealer out there. I was
Yeah.
just bagging
Oh,
it, tagging it, putting it out, boom, boom, boom. And one of the population inside the gang unit was like, "Yo, I don't know how this is gonna help me." And I'm like, "Yo, that's the old programming. Like, if you can sit there and catch some wisdom, like even if you're doing a long bid, what about your celly that comes in and he's only doing 5 months? What if you drop a jewel that you got from him that will he can now plant that seed and then that can grow?" And so basically we got there. The first unit was Bravo, and Yeah, they were great, man. Like I just sitting there just watching you speak. It was an interview, really, and
Right.
then there was just you could tell that not even just the population inside, but the staff. There's a lot of negativity in that department from staff and obviously the population inside. And you could see the ones that wanted to grow and heal, and the ones that are just stuck. And I'm on some like, leave the haters where they're at, man. They can go ahead and find other negative people to hate with. Then what was really cool was the second speech. I mean, you took the little camo off. You had your shirt out, and you went right up the rank, man. And you talked to the guy that literally said, "I don't give a damn about the hood motivator. I put the gang over my religion." And you showed him love and you showed him respect and you broke him down. And it went from like when you were talking, like, "Yo, does anybody who wants to heal, who wants to grow?" And the guy was like this, and then you said later on, then he was like this, and then later it was like this, and then next like they're raising their hands, screaming hallelujah, man, because yeah, it was like you took them to church.
Right. And it was just relating to them and letting them know that, hey, we hold like me and you coming together, we hold space. We're the space holders. So you're safe here. And letting the toughest people know that you don't have to be that tough. It's okay. We can talk about this and figure this thing out. And that's what we basically is doing. And thank you for allowing me to even be in your network to go do that. And you've been doing that. You do the work unseen. You know,
Yeah.
let's talk about the work you do unseen, and you go in there every day,
Oh yeah.
every single day, and you
Yeah.
pour into these men.
Yeah, I do.
You don't just correctional officer, you fix the internal problems too.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. What I do is I give them like I said, I really do feel I'm the hope dealer. I give them hope, and don't get me wrong. Like sometimes there's a time to be a hammer, and there's a time to just step back and catch wisdom and drop some seeds. And I got a lot of respect there because I'm authentic and I'm real, and I care, and I care about people. I don't think like a lot of the COs. I don't think like a lot of humans. I'm different, and I just think source keep me different. Like I don't want to be like them. But the work I do is, many of like that population has come up to me and said, "Yo, like, thank you for talking to me like a human." Like there was like thank you for thank you for that advice. Like I've had like grown men like crying to me, telling me a lot of them were abused as kids and molested, and like it's sad, man. And honestly, like I see a lot of like my brother. I see a lot of myself in some of those situations as well. Like growing up, like people never like just mom was a crackhead and dad was gangbanging in New York. Like first 5 years of my life were kind of crazy. So like I could have easily ended up in that situation as well, and just like you. But I just like to give them hope, man, and any chance I get, and if I feel it, because you can feel the energy. The energy is willing to receive. I'll drop a jewel, and like I'll have conversations about like, hey, what's your plan? And when you get out of here, like, yo, you should start reading books and meditating. Like where you are doesn't have to be here forever, man. Nothing is permanent. Every time you feel broken, it's an opportunity to mend. So like I don't preach. I just like I speak from my own life experience, and I think that's how I can relate to people. You know?
And I love that because that's what you do. That's all you have been since 2006 is speaking from the heart. And
Yeah, man.
when we were kids in El Paso, when we, what I'm saying, when we started to come into our own, and we was working on our second deployment as kids, leading young men, even ourselves, dealing with relationship problems into the military. I mean, into combat, into another combat zone, man. And we led several platoons, and we worked alongside each other, and we fought alongside each other, and we did some things that, even coming back to, what I'm saying, from deployment. I remember we was talking about a story that people don't know that. I mean, I do that every day now, but coming from the streets as a kid and going to combat and carrying your rifle every single day, and then getting back stateside and you wake up because in a panic attack because you don't know where your rifle was at, not knowing you turned it in that night so you could be released from that
Yeah.
rifle. Man, I remember you was elaborating on that. Can you talk about that?
Yeah, I mean, so like Yeah, I was wild, man. So like, yeah, the rifle. It's about to be. It's 11:10. It's about to be 11:11. I'm big on numbers, so
Look at
that's
that.
source saying we're on the right path.
Mm.
Um, so yeah, no, I would have like because you get conditioned like everywhere you go to the latrine with your M4 or
Yeah.
M16A2, my first deployment, and yeah, just having that, especially being infantry, like always high value targets and SK small kill teams and observation points, all that stuff that we did, outer cordon missions and recon missions, all that. So you have your weapon everywhere you go. You take it to the shower, everything, and yeah, I remember like you said, coming back and you're in a combat zone 1 minute, and then next minute you're home, and it's like there's no transition, and so like yeah, I remember like waking up, like you said, like that pit in my stomach, like looking, opening my drawers, looking for my weapon. I'm like, wait a minute, I'm not in Iraq. Even like my mom woke me up one time when I first came back from my first deployment, and like, dude, I had this. She's like, I'll never forget the look you gave me, because I got startled. I thought I was in Iraq, man. I was my mom who raised me. But yeah, it's definitely some unseen like been fighting battles people know nothing about. It's like even like little popping sounds. Um, like that stuff could trigger you even at work. A lot of the inmates, like they'll you're touring, and they'll like jump on a milk carton and like make a popping sound like that, and then obviously the smells of trash. Like it reminds you of the Iraq oil. I don't know. It's all it's now that I'm healing, I'm more conscious, I'm aware of it, and I catch the loop. I
Mm.
bring myself to center, but a lot of it for me is just bringing awareness to where I feel the trauma in my body. So like I tell even this population inside, like I ask them where do they hold their trauma, like where do they feel it, and I'm big on somatic releasing energy work. So
Mm.
I hold mine in my solar plex right here, right here. So like anytime I'm feeling like I'm triggered by either combat or inner child stuff, it's all here. So I just put my hand on here, bring awareness to it. I just close my eyes and I just say, just thank you for this gift, and what is my body telling me? And then I just let this feeling come up, and I say to myself, I am safe, I am rooted, I am grounded, and I just say, I am love, I am love, and I just sit there and I just bring awareness, and I just feel that uncomfortable feeling run through my body. So a lot of uh, a lot of us are holding on to so much trauma, but like if you take your hands, like we're meant to heal ourselves. So like if you take your hands and you bring awareness to where that hurts in your body, breathe into it. And like you'll see like what'll happen. Like it'll get real uncomfortable, but if you just hold that line and you speak to yourself and you show yourself grace, it'll flow through you.
Mm.
Energy. Like, yeah, man. Yeah,
I
it's
love, I,
crazy.
I love it, man. I love just to hear you talk about the holistic things, the conscious things that you're doing now. And a lot of men, we like I said, we don't embrace that. We don't talk about it. They say it's weird, but I'm embracing weird. I'm weird. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, I think that we here at the right timing. This is what we're supposed to be doing. We're following our gift. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
man.
We're honoring what God gave us, what we meant to do on this God green earth. This is I'm meant to be a life coach. I'm meant to be a motivational speaker. I'm meant to touch and go around and be able to articulate well to all my niches. You know what I'm saying? I don't like
Yeah.
to be locked in. I don't like to be, you're only good for the hood. You only no, I'm everything. I done enough. You know what I'm saying? So and that's what we working you up to. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
let's talk about what you have in the future going on, and as far as your classes that you want to bring to the Corrigan Correctional Facility.
Yeah. Yeah, so basically with the school that I go to now, the MIUs, like I said, it's conscious based education, and somebody was like, "Oh, like what can you do with that degree?" And I'm like, "What can't you do with the degree? It's limitless. Like when you become more conscious, you're more aware, you're more in tune with yourself, and like you're more open to receive information and like think outside the box." So like I said, we want to start a program that just really gets back to debunking masculinity, um, showing that vulnerability is strength. Like like you said it earlier, that we live in a world where like they tell you men don't cry and warriors don't cry, etc. Um, but yeah, so like I said, inner child healing, breath work. like Wim Hof breathing, just anything that can help them emotionally regulate themselves. Because a lot of it, their amygdala is it's stuck in that loop of fight or flight. So there's like when somebody's like jacked up, like it's hard for them to receive any information. But if we give them tools like tapping, meditation, yoga, um, and then like my wife's programs she runs are amazing. She's got the biggest groups ever. Like she's got 20, 30 people a group. Like most people don't go to groups. And here's a white woman who's sitting in the trenches in the belly of the beast with like you said it earlier today when you filmed her podcast about how like you wish that she like you would have had a counselor like her like growing up because she really does understand and she doesn't need to be there like she's underpaid undervalued in that job but she chooses to go there because right now it feels right to her soul and we got to help the population behind those walls.
Agree with that because both you guys together. I was telling her earlier that you know you have to pour into each other and you got to love on each other more because I know it's difficult.
Oh
Not
yeah.
having one but two people who working inside of there trying to, what I'm saying, be that staple for them and help them understand that it's going to be okay. You know, in our communities, we set up for failure, but it's what you do after that. How do you get around that, right?
Yeah.
And that's what we challenge each other. Give them options of how to. And what we spoke upon Friday was emotional intelligence for them and them understanding their triggers and knowing what is a trigger because
Yeah.
a lot of things are triggers, man. Can you talk about that since you're studying conscious base? Can you talk about triggers?
Yeah. So like a lot of it, like just from my personal experience, and even like my therapist, Dr. Martinez, she's a captain in the army, but she also is a doctor, works for Yale. Um, awesome, awesome, best therapist I've ever had. But so basically, like for me, like triggers are like so basically, if something makes you uncomfortable, like let's just say like some inner child stuff. So like back in the day, I'd get even triggered by my wife's kids sometimes. Like or just because like I didn't grow like they have a great life, they're smart and like everything I wanted to be growing up, they were. Like they're
Right.
smart, they're cool. Like and it wasn't until I started to do the work, but like so what that was, the trigger for me was like my like fifth grade self of like I wanted to fit in, I wanted to be cool, and like these kids have this like so basically another option. So basically like my son, when he was 2 years old, he was had this moment where he was crying, and he wanted to play with his friend across the street, and he starts crying, and all of a sudden I start to feel like this pain in my solar plex, my heart, and I'm like, where does this trigger come from? And it was from me from childhood, wanting to be accepted, like I wanted to be white because I literally grew up around white people, and I dealt with a lot of racism growing up, and I couldn't look myself in the mirror, and like so the trigger when my son was crying was showing me that like there's some inner child stuff that I need to heal, need to work. So, like I said, be catching the loop, and I'm learning this through school is like, and even my therapist is like when you're triggered or when you have trauma, unresolved trauma, you resort back to that age of when the trauma started. So, like, if something happens to you in your life and then all of a sudden you get triggered, a lot of the times your thinking process will drop down to that level of when you were experiencing your trauma initially, if that makes sense.
That makes a lot of sense, man. I love that too because that's how you touch on it and everything like that. So,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know,
So, yeah, but I mean, there's all types of like, but like now it's I'm at the point where I'm catching my triggers like in the loop before they even connect and I even react. So that's just a testimony of the healing I've been doing. I've been doing a lot of crying. Shoot, we went to go see my brother Jeff at the cemetery, and just when I thought I didn't have any more tears, well, I just was crying, and somebody on TikTok was like, "Oh, you look broken," and I'm like, I started laughing. I'm like, broken? Nah, I look like I'm healing. Like society gets uncomfortable. Even dudes in my work, they get uncomfortable when there's a man that can be masculine and have femininity too. Because a true warrior is a blend of masculine and feminine energy. And then when I mean feminine, I don't mean soft. I mean like a man who could say like, "Hey, I'm struggling. I need help," or a man who could tell his kid that his daughter he loves them and shows up for his kids. It's like we're a blend of both. And a real warrior is a man like we've talked about. Is a man who can articulate his feelings. You know, just like you said. So when you start to like healing isn't linear, dude. So like people have been reaching out to me and like, "Yo, you okay?" I saw you crying, and I'm like, yeah, dude, like this is the most grounded I've ever been in my life, bro. Because I'm healing, bro. I'm feeling. Like you said, in order to heal, you got to feel.
In order for you to heal, you have to feel it. You have to make sure that you understand what you're doing and why you're doing what you're doing. And before you can go heal anybody, you got to heal yourself within. You have to go through that. You have to go through all that stuff.
Yeah, you're right. And it's one of those things now. It's like pressure's a privilege, man. And now I'm starting to realize that every trial, every tribulation was necessary in order to grow. And it's like there's even a quote here that I got when I went to go see my sister, and I'll read it real quick. But it's plays off this, and it says, "Every positive change, every jump to a high level of energy and awareness involves a rite of passage. Each time to ascend to a higher rung on the ladder of personal evolution, we must go through a period of discomfort, of initiation. I have never found an exception." And the guy's Dan Millen. I don't know who that is, but the quote really spoke to me because I'm like, sometimes you've been through hell with the Rat Pack, losing everything, like bankrupt. Like, how many times like I worried about you, and how many times you worried about me, and it was like we're at the point in our lives now where it's like all this was part of the story. It was already written. Like, why do you think God source like allowed us to go through this? Because He knew we were going to take a step back, catch the wisdom, and now we got the wisdom, and now we bag it, tag it, and put it out to the universe. That's why we're hope dealers, bro.
That's
We're
it.
hope
That's
dealers. We talking that shit because we live it, bro. I
that.
get passionate about this shit because I'm like, all these rappers, all these like, it's crazy how society looks up to. It's even crazy how like even in sports, like they look up to all these athletes, which is great. But then you got the guys that are willing to sacrifice their country and like even law enforcement and like protecting the public. And granted, there's good and bad in everything. There's good
That's
law enforcement. There's good inmate population. There's they like but it's like, bro, society's got it wrong. Where like they're looking up to these guys that aren't living what they preach, what they
right.
talk. It's like here you got two men who are combat vets. It's like that also are educated, that like are fathers, and like they try to get back and pour into it. It's like Nike, what's up? Let's sign a deal. Let's get a deal. Let's get a Hood Motivators Conscious Cow line.
Come on.
Vans, what up? Like, come on, bro. Why
No, build.
wouldn't you want? Why wouldn't you want this? It's gonna happen. We're
Oh,
about to.
it's happening. It's happening now. Like I looked up after my bankruptcy and all the work I put in, and I will say, this year is a year of harvest. It's reset. So
Yeah.
all the work I put in, it's time to reap what I sow. Definitely, I did it for healing and to heal me. And I woke up in January 2025 as the number top 50 motivational speakers in the world and life coach. And now I just got signed to Los Angeles Tribune last year, July, August time frame. Look how God works. Look at that. Because I let my gift make room for me. This is my gift. This is who I am. This is what I'm allowed to do. This is what God said. This is the right timing. This is what we got to do. You know what I'm saying? And I appreciate you
Yeah.
for you just being that friend that I can always count on. You know what I'm
I,
saying? And when I was going through my hard time, you came and you just stood in the gap for me. So I appreciate you. And you're turning into from killer cow to conscious cow. How does that feel turning into conscious cow now?
honestly, I've always had this, in order to find peace, you must become peace. And once you become peace, you can create more peace. And first time in 41 years that I can honestly say that I'm learning how to live in peace. My whole life has been like that fight or flight, from childhood to combat to post combat. Like it's been fight or flight, and now it's like I'm living in peace because I'm doing the work. I'm healing. I'm meditating. I'm crying. Plant-based medicine ceremonies. Have a great supportive partner. Like I can honestly say, like I get emotional about it because Yo, I can honestly say that I love myself, man. Like truly love myself. Like I used to like not be able to look myself in the mirror. Now I'm like, I love who I'm remembering to be before the world tell me what to do, what to think, who to be, and like, no, man, like I know I'm special. Like I'm different, and I'm not leading with the ego because I'm leading with my soul. My soul's recognizing that what makes us special is that everybody's special. Like when you become authentically yourself, you are the only person in the entire world that is you, and that's your gift. So like all these people that want to be like somebody else and want to follow, I get that. I've been there, but when you start to do the work, the soul work, bro, the healing work, bro, like life is limitless. That when you really put like and you honor, honor Mother Nature, Earth, and then you thank the earth for its wind and the trees and the air we breathe, and it's like everything is interconnected. Like Christ consciousness. I even like not to get into religion because I mean I think religion in my mind is like a fishbowl in the ocean, and spirituality is the entire ocean, and and I think that like God, source, whatever you call your belief, it doesn't matter. Like in my mind, it's like if you believe in something bigger than yourself, if you give thanks for the things that you have and the things that you're gonna get, it's like you're gonna be blessed. Why do you
Mm.
think God's gonna bless us? Because we've been doing this. We've been manifesting this for 23 years.
Hey, talk about it. We was in the kitchen 23 years ago talking about I was Martin Luther King in the flesh.
Bro,
I
yes.
believe our ancestors passed this down to us for us to uphold this mantle, and I think we would do an injustice if we don't keep our foot on their necks. This is
Yes.
who we are. This is why we do what we do.
The villain era.
You know what I'm saying? We are embracing
Facing the
the
villain.
villain era, and it's not bad. You know what I'm saying? It's just protecting ourselves and protecting our peace and being aggressive about our knowledge and how we obtain it and who we get it from.
Yeah,
You know
yeah,
what I'm saying?
exactly. And then just to elaborate on the villain era, just so we live in a world now where it's like when you lead with love, the highest vibration, hate comes at you, right? And like you say, you tell me all the time, like when you say your prayers, the devil hears it too. So whether
Yep.
you call it negative energy, the devil, like it hears, it hears. So like when you lead with love, the highest vibration, hate will come at you, and when you become authentically yourself, that's when you start to see who's for you and who's not. Because I've even noticed as I continue to ascend, like people who I thought were on my corner started to like not understand me, but also like want me to be the same version that I
Mm.
was years ago. And it's like when you grow, you heal, you evolve, you process your pain, your trauma, you start to become who you're meant to be, who you're remembered to be. And like Nipsey Hussle says, man, Rip Nip is circle got smaller, everybody can't go. And honestly, I'd rather have four quarters than 100 pennies, man. I don't have a lot of friends. I mean, I got you, Tommy Slocum, and a couple other people, like my wife. Like, but I keep my circle small because I gotta protect. We work too hard to get here.
Definitely, we worked too hard to get here, and man, I want to just say, thank you for coming back on my podcast and being comfortable. And world, I will tell you, chat community, new followers, old followers, everybody. Me and Conscious Cow got something special coming for you guys by spring. Something that we can give to you guys by via us holding the podcast together and collaborating and doing something special probably once or twice a month for the community.
Yeah, this is gonna
And
be
tap
epic.
in. And it's gonna be dope. Stay tuned. It's coming. It's gonna be on the Riverside. Shout out to Los Angeles Tribune podcast again for signing me, bringing me on and making me feel comfortable. Thank you again for everything that you're doing for the community, Cal. Can you leave your all your social media handles and then leave us with just leave us with a motivational quote. And
Yeah, word. Yeah. So my social media, it's all platforms is Calvin. Well, it's Cal dot. Well, it's conscious dot Cal, and it's that's on Instagram, TikTok. So but the Cal is it's a one. So conscious dot ca1. Excuse me. And you can also just find me under Calvin Reynoso. excuse me, my tag will come up. As far as motivation, I would say that, and I've said this before, is the world will tell you to, find yourself, right? But really, if you really it's not about finding yourself. It's about remembering who you were before the world got to you. Because when you're born, you're like this, right? You're a blank sheet of paper. You're like this, right? And then all of a sudden you go through some trauma, and then this happens, and this happens, and then your brother dies in combat, and all of a sudden you got all these opinions. All of a sudden it looks like this, you know. But really, when you start to heal, you get back to this, a blank sheet, and once you get to this blank sheet, it's endless opportunities. So like, your greatest gift is to be authentically you, and be around people that want to elevate too, man. You can't elevate with losers. You can't. You can't elevate with people that are stuck with just being the same. Excuse me. But yeah, that's man. And this is crazy because I'm so tapped in. Like when I start to I like energy. I like purge. So like I'll leave you guys with something wild. Is I hold a lot of trauma in my vagus nerve, right? So in my solar plex. So this is a quick hack, real quick. So every time I start to feel like I am now, like I feel tight and I don't know what's going on. So I activate my vagus nerve system where I start tapping, right? And your body holds on to trauma, right? So I start tapping. Those burps are like my body releasing trauma, literally. Like so, it's not like a burp from food. It's like a energetic burp, and it helps me kind of release. I'm not from here, bro. I'm not from here.
I love the fact that you stay tapped in. I have learned so much from you, and I appreciate you, brother. I love you. I'm proud of you. This is a motivators table. This is where you come to get inspired. This is where we tell our stories. Where we come and make sure we let everybody know, you, the community, the chat, that hey, this is what you need to do. Motivation is just the first step, and I will leave my community with this. In this world, God created two animals that can sense when trials and tribulations are coming. Storms. That's a cow and that's a bull. For a long time, I was a cow. I ran from my problems. I blamed it on my ancestors. I blamed it on my DNA. I blamed it on everybody that was in front of me. I blamed it on my mother. I blamed it on myself. And I kept running with the problem and I kept making excuses for it. I woke up in 2022 and I became the bull and I started to fight and I ran through the eye of the storm, and now I woke up and I'm top 50 motivational speakers in the world 2026, signed the Los Angeles Tribune. It's God's gift. This is what I'm supposed to be doing. So I would ask you, chat, community, motivators, which one are you? Are you the bull or are you the cow? Both of us, both of them, they sense that trauma is coming. They sense that pain is coming. They sense that trials and tribulations are coming. But which one are you going to be? Are you going to run with it? Or are you going to run into the middle of it and get through it so you can tell your story? The Motivators Table, this is where we telling the story. We all bulls. We done been through it. This is nothing. This is nothing that we are not talking about, nothing that we have never talked about or done. We're not rappers. We talk about things that we have experienced and how to get you through it. And thank you, Conscious Cal. Thank you, Killer Cal. Thank you, Calvin Reynoso, future doctor in the next 5
Yes.
years. I'm speaking that for you. I'm affirming that. I am meditating. I'm motivating you. I'm telling you that's what it is. I appreciate you and thank you guys for tuning in to the Motivators Table. And guess what? We have an awesome show coming up soon in the next episode. Stay tuned. Motivators, mount up. Boom.
Oh, thank you.